Hey friends, it's Cordelia. Welcome back to my channel, Phyrra, where I talk about gothic beauty, fashion, and more. So today's video is going to be a chatty purple makeup tutorial, and I'm going to be telling you about some of my favorite things, like my current top 5 favorite music artists, my current top 5 life-changing books, and my top 6 favorite eyeshadow palettes right now. And let me show you this purple duochrome look a little closer. If you are into purple and you like multi-chromes, you like indie, then just go ahead and keep watching. So today I tried a new eyeshadow primer. This is Zoeva's Pearl Primer, and it has like a light, I'd say light golden beige type of shimmer. So we'll see how I like it. Many of you had mentioned wanting to see me do another purple makeup look, so I figured I would do a purple makeup look today and kind of chat at you while I'm doing it. I'm going to use this color right here, B2, for my base shade today. And I'm taking a Dolly Tools 787 fluffy brush and just gonna put this like through my crease slash transition area because I have hooded eyes. Now, if you have hooded eyes like I do, one of the things that I do to make sure that you can see my eyeshadow and it's visible after I apply it is I look directly into the mirror or camera so that I can make sure that when my eyes are open and I'm looking at you, you can see just a little bit of color coming up above my lid. So now I'm gonna go back with the ABH C3 and my Sigma E25. And one of the things that I was asked recently is, who are my current 5 top favorite musicians that I am listening to? So number 1 is Voltaire. I love Aurelio Voltaire. His music has been speaking to me since I was, I guess, 21 or so, when I first heard him out in San Francisco at Roderick's Chamber a long time ago, when I still clubbed regularly. So the album of Voltaire's that I've been listening to the most is probably Boohoo, and it's basically a breakup album. The 2 songs that I've played the most on it are See You in Hell, and the other song is Let It Go, because things I need to do is let go of a lot of shit, and it's really helpful to me. I have also been listening to lots and lots of Art Bat. I love Art Bat, ARTBAT. If you go on YouTube, you can find all kinds of playlists from their shows, from like when they were in, I think it was Rio in Brazil. There's just like this beautiful show that they did there that's on the mountaintops, and the music is so good, especially around like the 37-minute mark. I'm just like, yes, more of this, please. They were at EDC in Orlando this past weekend, and you know, if it wasn't a global pandemic, and if there hadn't been like the recent stuff with the Travis Scott concert, and if people weren't getting like stabbed with needles or whatever, I would have probably been way more likely to go again, because I had so much fun when I went with Mickey, like I think it was 2 or 3 years ago at this point. But it's not something I want to really go risk right now. I'm still not going to conventions or concerts or anything like that for the foreseeable future. Okay, so I'm really happy with the 2 purples that I have on so far. I just love these purple mattes. I think they're so pretty. So the next color I am going to reach for is BIPOC Beauty Amulet. It's this purple right here that's a multi-chrome. So if I move it, you might be able to see the different colors that it's gonna go. Yeah, there we go. But I love BIPOC Beauty and I love this color, and so I'm excited to have a chance to wear it because I haven't worn it in, I don't know, I want to say maybe a month. And I'm actually applying it with just, I don't know, this is a ColourPop flat lid brush that I have. And it looks like while this eyeshadow primer was really nice for my mattes, it looks like it's very patchy with my lid color. Kind of surprising. Don't know if I didn't use enough or if I used too much. I've just grabbed a little bit of all-nighter spray so I can put this onto my lid and make sure it's going to be a nice, even little coat. Next, I'm going to pop E3 this color from the ABH palette onto my inner lid just to lighten it up a little bit and make it a little bit more shiny and sparkly. And I'm using my Urban Decay Moon Dust brush. Yeah, I'm kind of just patting this on top, like I said, just for like extra little shine and such. And let's see, I think I've talked about Voltaire and Art Bat. I love Art Bat for getting into the flow, like at work whenever I'm working on a project and I just need to be able to focus and not think about like what I'm what I'm doing, how long it's taking. That's what I like it for. And we have Camel Fat. Camel Fat's kind of the same way. It's another electronic band, and both of them to me are great if I want to work out or if I need something that's just more, I don't know how to phrase it, but it feels uplifting for me, and I really like that. Let's see, what else do I listen to, or what else I've been listening to lately? Billie Eilish. I love Billie Eilish. I'm gonna go back with B2, and this is a Goss 5 brush. I'm going to apply this along my lower lid. Don't worry, I will clean up whatever fallout I have, because there's fallout. Not terrible. I think the last musician that I play a lot and listen to a lot lately is Eminem, and I know everybody usually looks at me like, really? But his music got me through some really difficult times, especially when I was being bullied and harassed online. I'm going to take Concrete Minerals Voodoo Dolly next, which is another like multi-chrome. And I'm going to apply it with this IT Cosmetics smudge brush. And I'm gonna put this basically right at like the lower lash line on top of the pink color that we just applied. I'm gonna go back to that wing Goss brush that I used to apply the matte under my lid, and I'm just kind of gonna blend at the edges with this brush. I am gonna do my brows next, and I'm using Lime Crime Pony, which is like a brow pomade wax type pencil. Fill them in to give them some purple. I have very, very sparse brows, so I need to make them look a little more defined. And I just kind of like to brush them up. So let's see, I know somebody else asked me about my current top favorite eyeshadow palettes, and so I was trying to think about that. So I'd say my current top like favorite eyeshadow palettes for the year are number 1, Natasha Denona Trio Chrome palette, because I really do love the weird mattes in it, and I like using them with my indie duochromes and multi-chromes to create really nice looking looks. The mattes in that palette are not colors I would have ever thought to buy myself, which is why I bought the Color Story. Like, I would not have thought to buy those individual shades, and I'm really glad I did, because I think they look really nice with my complexion. So I'm sure you were going to guess the Natasha Trio Chrome palette just because I love that palette and I mention it a lot. Next would be the Necromancy Cosmetica A Gothic Romance palette. I really love the mattes in there, especially the deep dark maroon and deep blue. They are so beautiful, and there's like a beige color that's really nice as well. Number 3 would be the Kaleidos Club Nebula palette because I love the color story and I love the shimmery shades in it, and Angelica did such a good job with that palette. I really, really like it. I think it's really pretty. Number 4, I'm gonna cheat and say my custom indie palette with all of like my indie multi-chromes from Terra Moon's Cosmetics, Baby Bat Beauty, JD Glow, Phyrra, I think Touch of Glam Beauty is in there too, and Cleona. So yeah, I love my custom palette where I put together all of my favorites. I'm going to use Zero Gravity from Terra Moon's Cosmetics next. Love, love, love this. It's a really pretty purple. I'm gonna put a little bit just right here at my inner corner. Next palette, I'd say number 5 is Lime Crime Venus Immortalis because I feel like it's a really nice, like, neutral kind of gothic palette. I don't know if you've ever seen it or whatever, but I really love all of like the gray tones in it. They're just a lot of fun colors to use. They look great on. I'm not even necessarily like a one and done eyeshadow person very often, but I can do a really nice one and done look with like Echo, Moth, and Hail, which are like these colors in here. Tiny, tiny bit of Zero Gravity right under here. And the last palette on my list is the ABH Norvina palette number 5, the one that I used several colors from to create this look. It's the only Norvina palette that I personally have tried. Like myself, I've had one of the other Norvina palettes, whatever the big orange one was. Mickey used that one on me and I thought it was great. He told me I would be very, very sad if I didn't at least look at this palette and consider buying it, and I'm very glad that I did because it is so gorgeous. I'm going to put on some mascara. I'm not doing lashes, not in the mood for it. I'm going to use Haus Labs Open Wide Pencil on my lower waterline. I like it. It's like a nice light, like pinky beige white type color for like opening up my eyes. So I'm gonna go make sure just the edges of this pink is blended out nicely because I feel like it could just not be quite as smooth as I like. I'm gonna use this Patrick Ta eyeshadow brush, and I think I'm gonna use a little bit of A1 from this Norvina palette and just make sure this is all. I am living like a wild woman these days. I couldn't tell you the last time I plucked my eyebrows or anything like that. Earlier this year I was shaving them off like the back half, and I just kind of stopped doing that. I've just been letting them kind of go a little wild. Okay, so my eye makeup is mostly finished. I get to go on to my complexion, and I'm excited to show that to you. First, I do want to zoom in really, really fast on my face, just so you can see my bare skin in what I believe is better lighting than the other day. This is my 43-year-old skin, no filters, just skincare. Okay, I'm going to put on my favorite complexion perfection product next. That is going to be the Auric Glow Lust in the shade Morganite. This is reformulated and I think it looks beautiful on my skin. It is not meant to be a foundation. I am just using it as a complexion perfection product, aka in the place of foundation, because I've worked really, really hard on my skin and I think my 43-year-old skin looks amazing. So I like to use things that are light to light medium coverage, just because I feel like, well, my skin looks good, so why cover it all up? Not that I don't have fuller coverage foundations or choose to wear them at times, but lately I just feel like this looks so, so good. Why? Why would I want to do anything else? This is everything that I wanted the Charlotte Tilbury's Flawless Filter to be on me, but it did not turn out to be nearly as nice. I don't know why. I feel like the Charlotte Tilbury gives me like a little bit of like a Tin Man face, but I don't feel the same about this, so. I definitely don't have perfect skin, but I feel like I have worked so hard at it to minimize all of the redness from my rosacea and to get it to look just as beautiful and healthy as I can. So I just applied that all over. I will zoom in again really fast so you can see what this looks like up close on me, because I know a lot of you are curious. Again, I don't use filters on my YouTube channel or anything like that, so this is what my skin looks like with this on. I feel like it's a very beautiful, my skin but better thing. Now I have normal, well, I have dry to normal skin. I'm getting closer and closer to normal these days, which is great. I'm surprised. And that's awesome for me because that means that I don't have to consistently be using products just for dry skin. So I think this looks great on me. I feel like this looks literally like I'm wearing no foundation at all, just my skin looks beautiful. And I'm so here for that. And you guys asked for purple blush, and I'm totally going to use purple blush, but I'm going to start with, I think, let's see, Fenty's Rosé Latte. And the reason I'm starting with this is because I just want to put this like under my cheek a little bit before I put on the purple blush. This color is supposed to be good for people who have olive skin, and I'm a very cool neutral to yellow olive. So I thought I would see if it looked natural on me, and I feel like it actually looks pretty good. You're giving me a little bit of warmth and color. Definition right around the edges. So let's see. Somebody else asked what my current 5 top life-changing books were, and some of these you'll have heard of before. Number 1 on my list is, I'm going to kind of cheat because it's a trilogy, but it's the Last Herald Mage trilogy by Mercedes Lackey, and I recently saw that this is going to get made into a TV show, and I'm really, really excited by that. I think I first read that series when I was about 12 years old, and the main character in the book, Vaniel, basically kind of became like my hero, my idol. Like, I don't know, I thought he was just amazing because I felt like I went through some of the same, I think I experienced some of the same prejudices he did, because, you know, I grew up as a person who was bisexual in a very conservative, anti-LGBTQIA church, so it definitely made me feel like sometimes, you know, I had to really hide who I was to most people, and I hated it. I think that this book is probably, or I think that series is probably the first series that really introduced me to what different loving relationships could look like outside of monogamy. So I gave examples of different like non-monogamous situations. I think that's where I saw my first triad. And it just, I don't know, it just was beautiful, and I loved that world. If I could have left this world to go there, I totally would have. I'm going to go in with Fenty's Drama Class next. This is the purple. The second book on the list, I think you'll have heard of before, and it is the Atomic Habits book. And Atomic Habits is by James Clear. This book is life-changing for me in so many different ways because it's helped me be a better person. It taught me all the little like biohacking type of hacks on how to build up healthy habits in your life, and just it really kind of helped me be able to shift my mindset. And I think it's a fantastic book. I recommend it to basically anybody who's looking to make positive changes in their life because I found it to be so helpful. Next on my list would be Polysecure, but as I am, and sorry about that, my video camera shut off in the middle of me doing my blush. The next book on my list would be Polysecure, which is by Evie Rickert and Jessica Fern. And the reason this one is on my list is that it does a really, really good job of explaining like different childhood traumas, attachment styles, and ways to then go about becoming secure in your relationship, especially if like you're anxious or whatever. And that's stuff that I wanted to learn and improve on, because I do have anxiety and I want to not be controlled on by it. And I've been working so hard in my therapy to gain control of my body whenever I'm having, you know, stuff go on. So yeah, it's really good. I like the fact that it does a really good job of explaining like different like attachment styles, how you can have a mixed attachment style depending on like what you went through in your childhood. And wow, that's a lot of blush for me today, but I think that's okay. It's kind of fun. And it really works as kind of like a guide for you to figure out how to figure out what you want and need in your relationship. I am going to put on Black Moon Cosmetics Catshark highlighter, which is my favorite like lilac purple highlighter, and I'm using an Eco Tools fan brush. The next book on my list would be The Dark Goddess Craft by Stephanie Woodfield. Now, the reason that I chose this book is because it's a book basically about doing like inner shadow work and working with dark goddesses and transformation. And as you know, if you've watched, you know, my changes around here video, I'm going through a lot of different changes in my life, and it seemed really important for me to do to be able to try to you know, just, I don't know, for me I felt really drawn to it, and so I've been reading and rereading it and working through some of the exercises and just really enjoying it. If you are, you know, witchy inclined, you might want to check it out. If you aren't witchy inclined but you're kind of curious about like shadow work and stuff, maybe go poke your head in. Okay, so I put on a generous amount of Catshark, and I'm totally here for that because I think it looks fabulous. I'd say the last book that's on my list for life-changing right now would be The High Five Habit by Mel Robbins. What I love about this book is it's another book that really kind of helps teach you how to believe in yourself and manifest what you're like, what you want to have happen. And you know, it helps you reinforce it, like having the habit of high-fiving yourself in the mirror every morning. And you know, to me, a lot of it kind of reflects back to the treating yourself the way you would treat your best friend, and I've been putting a lot of work into that, so I think it's another great book. I'm gonna put on Kaleidos Scorpion Fruit, which is a black with purple undertones. I think it's gonna go with the look. This is my first time wearing them and applying them, so here we go. I went ahead and crisped up my lip lines with the KVD pencil in Scully. Yeah, so I'd say this is a pretty, actually, like I would say warm toned black. I do like it, but I always need to use a pencil before I put on lipstick, because otherwise it looks like a 5-year-old put on my lipstick. So not fun. So let me go ahead and zoom in so you can see this finished look up close. Here's the eyes. Hopefully you can see all of the beautiful multi-chrome magic as I turn. Let me zoom in a little, zoom out a little bit, but still as close enough that you can see the face. I really do love like the glow my cheeks have going on. I think that looks so pretty. So I hope you enjoyed this chatty purple makeup tutorial. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What sort of duochrome makeup look do you want to see next? Be sure to let me know. Thanks so much for watching, my friends. I love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.